I'm going to show you 3 different really helpful websites for finding free summer activities. So the first one we're going to look at is the official website of the New York City Department of Parks and Recreation. So any free events, special programming, ongoing programming that's happening in any of the New York City parks should be listed here. And in this addition to just the parks being open and accessible to you during the summer, I just wanted to look at this a little bit just to see how you can use this website. When you go to the homepage here, you'll see these menus at the top. I just want to point out a couple things is that you can translate the website into a number of different languages. It's Google Translate, so you have many, many options. So if you would be more comfortable looking at it in another language, that is an option there. There's also a number of different things that are highlighted as potential activities for you. They have a whole list of things that they're doing for Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, which I think is pretty cool. So if you're interested specifically in those events, you can go click on that and look at what they have available. Again, this is going to be, unless you limit your search to Manhattan or to East Harlem or wherever it is you're interested in going, this is going to be for events across the city. You'll see that some of these are in the Bronx and Queens. There's Historic Chinatown Parks and Monuments tour, which is in Lower Manhattan. So this is something you can browse along the way because May is Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. But if you wanted to just look at other events, you can just go ahead and click on this event tab again. And you'll see on the right-hand side that there's a number of different categories to choose from. Let's say that we are interested in nature. So we're going to click on nature, and these are going to be events that are specifically focused on things related to nature. And then this list on the side, you'll see that we can search by a park name, we can search by a date, whether it's in the day or the evening, and then we can search by neighborhoods. What I like to do with this, you might want it to be a different geographical area, but for me, I like to look at all of Manhattan neighborhoods just to see what's going on in Manhattan. You might want to see farther afield, or you might want to say East Harlem in here if you want to stay close to home. So if you scroll down to where it says Manhattan, I'm going to say all Manhattan neighborhoods. And then I'm going to check free events because I want just free events in my search. So these are going to be free nature events in parks in Manhattan. We'll see what we get. So we have a lot of stuff this month. I was looking at this before, is about birding. So like there's some things on Randall's Island. There's this one on Riverside Park. Here's the Randall's Island. And there'll be some that are marked best for kids so that they're really kid-friendly events. So if you have relatives, kids, nieces, nephews, grandchildren, and you're trying to find something to do, it's a good way of checking that out. I think there's actually a place where you can filter for kids events as well. And then keep in mind too, if you see one of these, that means it's accessible for people with disabilities. That's something to look out for, just so you know that to be the case. So this other Randall's Island is also accessible for people with disabilities. But you'll see there's a whole bunch of different activities going on, free activities. There's volunteering activities at Randall's Island. Really, Randall's Island has a lot of stuff going on. Some things in Inwood Hill Park uptown, Fort Tryon. There are ongoing programs like Tai Chi in Fort Tryon Park. So this is definitely just, worth checking out in terms of things that are available to you for free. If you want to look up a particular facility or park, you can do that here as well. You could look up all events by, let's say, Randall's Island Park. Search all events and say Randall's Island. What's going to be going on there? So again, we see a lot of these bird events. There's a track and field youth program there. And this is just this weekend. So you can keep scrolling and see all the things that are going to be available in the future. Oh, yoga in the park. So they do that in Randall's Island. Volunteers, a whole bunch of track and field stuff over there. And a number of events that are good for kids. So if you're looking on the side here and you want to see kids events, you can click on Best for Kids. If you're interested in some of those outdoor movies, you can click on that. Just a lot of things that you can get from this site. You can also check out ongoing programs by clicking here. So if you're interested in swim programs or Shape Up NYC, which is exercise programs, you can get all the information about that here and look up specific parks as well. So this is a great resource for anything related to free events at parks. There's even concerts as well. There are some free concerts. Unless you're willing to pay to go to a concert, make sure you check off the free events category because there are a number of free ones. But I was going through it the other day and I was thinking they were all free and they weren't. So just keep that in mind that, if you're looking specifically for free events, to make sure you're checking off this free events button here. So that's a little bit about the parks website. I want to also show you the New York Public Library website. I will be the first to admit that the New York Public Library has more going on than I imagined, which I think is very cool. You can search in a similar way to the Parks Department website. So let's say we want to look up programs for adults in Manhattan. So we're going to uncheck these ones that we don't want, and then we're going to say refine your search. I'm just going to use that. So adults in Manhattan. So one of the things that they have is an ongoing program. So they have ongoing online programs. So some of these you don't even have to leave the house for. You can register for them and get like a Zoom link for them. They have a number of different film series as well that are free. If you look up 96th Street, which is one of the closer ones, they have an ongoing English conversation group that's free, which I think is very cool. This one's the intermediate and advanced level. I know they have a beginner's level as well. They have art programming for people with disabilities, acting programming, all of these things that are free to you and accessible. So I encourage you to check this out too. Again, you can search by library or by borough, by what kind of programming you're looking for. Again, if you have teens or children in your life that you are trying to get involved in activities over the summer, this is a great place to look as well. Also too, if you are looking for online events, you can click here and just find online event only. So there's English conversations by Google Meet, and again, a bunch of online programming that you can register for, and then you'll get the link to. So definitely check this out. I was really surprised by how much is going on and the range of things that the New York Public Library is offering this summer. There's also galleries in a bunch of the New York Public Libraries as well that you can go to for free, especially the one in Midtown. So definitely worth checking those out as well. Again, you can search by event type. So if you want to do book groups or classes, any of these, and then topic. So I encourage you to check that out as well. A whole host of things here to do over the summer. They also have AAPI Heritage Month program. They have a Jewish American Heritage Month program. So if you click on any of these will be events that are particularly geared towards that month. As the months go by and there are different focuses for each month, you can come back here and see what's being highlighted at this point. And then if you want to see all the free events that are related to AAPI Heritage Month, you can click on attend here and it'll give you a list. So tons of things to check out. Movie night, book talk, all sorts of things. Quilting, a lot of crafts and art programming as well. And then speaking of art, the last one I want to show you is a list of the free and pay what you wish days for New York City museums, which I think is very cool. Sometimes I forget that the museums in the city have these free days or pay what you wish days. And sometimes they can get a little crowded, but it's worth checking out, especially if you've been meaning to go somewhere and you'd really rather go there for free. Sometimes they have special programming on their free days as well, which is very cool. So the first part of this is, and all of these are links to the websites of these museums. These are always free or pay what you wish museums. So pay what you wish is like, you can go in and pay what you can afford. The free ones, you just go in. The American Folk Art Museum is very cool. Les and I have been there. That is free. El Museo is pay what you wish at all times. A couple of other ones. The Met is pay what you wish. Some of the other museums have monthly free hours. So it'll be like first Fridays or second Wednesdays or whatever. So this is what that schedule looks like for the Bronx Museum, El Museo, New Gallery. So this for El Museo is like, it's not even pay what you wish, it's just free, and a couple of different museums there. And then some of them have weekly free days or hours. So this is what the schedule is by the week. So the Bronx Zoo has pay what you wish on Wednesday. Museum of Chinese in America, which we actually visited a couple years ago before the pandemic, they do free Thursdays. Trinity Church has concerts. The New York Historical Society, which is a very cool place, does Fridays. A range of different things here. MoMA has free Fridays from 4 to 8. So check these out. It's really a great thing to get to go to these museums for free. And again, a lot of times they'll have special programming on free nights as well. So it's sort of a party. So those are the three ones that I have for you right now. So this is the Parks Department website. Get email updates. If you want to subscribe to receive similar events to ones that you are interested in, you can get email updates about just upcoming events in specific parks. So you can sign up here, scroll down to email newsletters. So put your email address in and then select your neighborhood. And then if you want to, optionally, these are optional too, you can get all the events, or you can look by neighborhood or by specific categories. So that'll just keep you up to date about any upcoming events near you. That is a really good resource to have. So you don't always have to go back to the website. You can just get it in your inbox, and I'm going to do that myself. And then the New York Public Library one has a similar system. So if you scroll down, you go to events and scroll down, they'll say sign up for our newsletter, and you can go ahead and do that there. That'll give you just an overview of all sorts of different kinds of free programming they're doing. So that's a really good way to make sure you're staying up to date, even if you sort of forget to check back on the website. And I encourage you too to check back on those sites, especially the parks website and the public library website, on a regular basis, because they get updated really regularly. So they might not have all their June or July events listed yet, but they probably will soon or closer to June or July. So make sure you don't miss anything.